Hello and welcome to the Adam and Nard Show. On today's episode, we're going to talk about gaming, and I have my dear friends with me, Hassan, Faisal, Amin, and my dear brother Adam.
Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good, man.
Thanks for coming to our show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. So
You're
let's start.
absolutely welcome. Let's start.
You go ahead, Nart.
Okay, so guys, can you tell me what is the best game that you ever played ever since you were a child up to today?
Definitely Tekken, man.
Tekken.
Tekken,
Wait.
Tekken
Okay.
3 since I was a kid till now Tekken 7. I still play online.
I can pick a game with all top generals.
Generals.
Generals
I
is a
mean-
game
Generals,
we all
yes.
play together.
Generals, I agree with.
I mean,
No, General,
we had some very funny
was
moments
something.
in there.
Generals
Yeah,
was
we-
something
we
else.
had fun.
Generals was
That
something
was
else.
like the finest, but there were these hinting undertones of racism, but you let it go because the game was,
was
that
funny.
good. For me, Nintendo, 110% Zelda Breath of the Wild and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Best game, hands down. And for PS, PlayStation, I would say honestly, Mortal Kombat was one of my best games there. Mortal Kombat all throughout.
in terms of fighting games.
In terms of fighting games, in terms of like solo games, Red Dead Redemption was actually one of my best. Red Dead
PS2,
Redemption
Red
1.
Dead
Redemption.
I'll never forget how I used to shoot my horse in the head, then skin it so I could make money. I had no choice. I had $0 and no bullets. The game couldn't continue.
I mean, that is the best way to make money.
I mean, what about you, man? What is your favorite game?
Console games, I was neutral. Single player games neutral, but
He's more of a PC.
Yeah.
But in terms of strategic games, you said Command and Conquer Generals.
no, Doofus. Some game nobody knows about. French
Doofus.
That's your
I
favorite
never heard
game?
of it.
It's actually a really fun game.
RPG, turn-based game, I'd say Doofus. But generally, I play anything that's PvP. So favorite games would be Counter-Strike. That was a classic. Dota was nice.
There was a time when Overwatch was incredible.
Oh, Overwatch was amazing.
Overwatch was
until
insane.
Brigetta came into the game.
Yeah, until they started changing it. I think that's the problem with games like that, especially online games, when they add new features to cater to
Yeah,
one
but-
specific kind of audience. Like before, Overwatch was basically pretty well-rounded. If you want to play defensive, you go Bastion. If you want to play offensive, you go McCree or
Yeah, there was
Agent
counters.
46. Yeah, but like when they got these champions that were just too broken, it just didn't make any sense. Like League of Legends, even when they introduce new characters, it does kind of remove the balance for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have to consider live services keep the game fun. If they don't update it,
It would
mean,
they
lose
would
its traction.
figure everything out in
I
the
mean-
game and it'd be stale.
I mean, like, these games are usually updated, but, like, for Overwatch, they really made a big mistake with Brigitte.
Yeah,
for example.
Brigitte
Remember
killed the game.
Brigitte?
Brigitte killed the game.
Brigitte
Because
would
now
take
you
off the
have
tank
this-
away in 2
Yeah, exactly.
seconds.
You have this healer that hits 50 people, heals everyone in your team,
And
has
a
a shield,
shield.
has a stun, has a dash.
And
Oh,
a
she
push.
counts as ultis.
Yeah, exactly. She had everything. She countered everything. So
You guys played Overwatch.
Oh
but
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
We
never, I
played
never
Overwatch.
played. it, to
we
be
played
honest.
we played a lot of it. It was like Team Fortress meets just this game that was completely unique. Every character had their
Yeah, it's
unique
a-
skills and like
it was Team Fortress improved.
and like the characters you chose really made a difference. I mean, at one point when they first released, they allowed you to play as duplicate champions. So me and our other friend Enes, we would do like defensive mode where like we'd both play Bastion, change into a turret, and like
And
nothing
have
would get
Lisa
past
and
us.
Reinhardt just shield.
Yeah, nothing would get past us. Nothing.
Okay, in terms of you,
Nart, what about you?
I'll tell you about my game. My
Go ahead, Nart.
game is the best game I ever played is Metal Gear.
Oh,
Hands down. Hands down.
Which
I
one?
Metal
started,
Gear
I-
Which
Solid?
one? Which
all
one?
of them. I started with
No, but
Game
which
Boy
one's your
Color.
favorite?
I started with Game. Oh,
Come on, it has
the
to be Snake
well, part
Eater.
1, 2, and 3.
It
These
has
are
to
my
be Snake
favorites.
Eater, man.
Classics.
Yeah,
That's your absolute best game?
yes, and I played with them on PC mode and on PlayStation 2.
That was the first game I ever knew you could smoke a cigarette in the game. Because
Yeah,
was
yeah.
smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah, but you know, it actually reduces stress in there. You know that?
That is
actually
true. And
reduces
plus, you can
stress.
see the infrared lines and stuff.
Hold on a sec, Nart. That's not exactly your favorite game. What about Smash?
No, Smash, okay, come on.
What about
Guys,
it's
wait
an
a minute.
amazing
All
game
of you,
too.
what
Yeah.
about Smash?
No,
You
Smash
all
is not
love
my favorite
Smash.
I mean,
That's come
Super
on.
Smash,
like
Super-
when we meet up, we all play Smash
Yeah,
together.
but I think it's more like a nostalgia-based thing because like we all played Smash when we were kids and we were introduced to it by you guys. And when it got into Melee on the GameCube and then Brawl on the Wii. And now with Smash Ultimate,
Actually,
It's-
we
it's-
were the first ones to play
yes,
Super
with
Smash.
On the Nintendo 64, yeah, we got hooked.
but
No
I
one knew
remember,
about this
I
game
remember
before.
the reason that game was so fun was
There you
just
go.
the ultra competitiveness of that game.
Yeah. My favorite game of all time, let's say for console, is definitely Smash. So for PC games, it's got to be Deus Ex. It's an RPG. Deus Ex was one of the best games ever. It received critical acclaim. I remember it was one of the masterpieces back in 2000.
I did like that game.
It was amazing, man. And
Was it
I never
2000?
played it.
it was
Never played
2000, yeah, Deus Ex.
Wow,
And man, the
2000,
story,
man.
the plot line, man, was amazing. Was way ahead of its time.
I'm surprised because I genuinely would have thought one of your favorite games, because it was one of my favorite games actually on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Was, I don't remember the name accurately, but Rashid, my cousin, used to have it. It was Sonic, but it was Sonic something.
Sonic Frontiers.
No,
Sonic
not Sonic
Heroes?
Frontiers. Not Sonic Heroes. It was before Sonic Heroes.
Yeah.
Is it a
It
2D
was this-
game?
No,
it was in the GameCube, I think.
Yeah, it was on GameCube and on PlayStation. And
Yeah,
it was
the one on Dreamcast, Sonic.
no, not Dreamcast. It was a GameCube, PlayStation 2 era game. Sonic Ultra or Sonic Ultimate.
So which platform, which console?
It was on PlayStation 2 and on GameCube, and it was one of the best games I'd ever played, even for me. And I don't really like Sonic games that much.
And what's the game like? Like just Sonic
It was
with
like
adventures
no,
game?
it was competitive. There was racing. There was actual fighting.
There was a split screen in it, I think,
yes,
as well.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
think I know that game.
Sonic Heroes was bad because Sonic Heroes.
Well, a lot of Sonic games are bad anyway, but I think the last Sonic game was amazing, which was Sonic Frontiers. It was a dream come true for a lot of people that want to just see Sonic running around,
As
in
for
an
me, the
open
best
world.
Sonic games is like Sonic 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, my favorite Sonic game ever was Sonic 3. You remember Sonic 3, Nart? Those were the best, man. I think the best game was Sonic 3.
I still remember we used to like buy the expansion pack just for you to play with Knuckles too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
on
remember
Sega.
that.
It was
Which brings us to the next question, guys. So for platform games, for console games, my favorite game is Smash till now. I always go back to it, and you guys, you know why. It's very competitive. It's fun. There's also online gaming, highly competitive, and there are also tournaments. We're going to talk about tournaments now in esports. So which brings us to the next question. What is your favorite character of all time? Mine is, I think you guys all know.
You mean gaming character in general?
Gaming character in general. Sonic has been my childhood character. Guys, the favorite character of all video games.
Thing for I would say for me personally, my favorite character can't just be stuck to one. It's about the investment because okay, for example, Assassin's
true.
Creed,
That is
Assassin's Creed, yeah, you start off Assassin's Creed 1 as Altair, and then Assassin's Creed 2 you play as Ezio Auditore. And because they released 2 games after that, which was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed Revelations, by the time they moved on to the next character, which was Quatamok or something like that, I honestly forgot. It was, you just couldn't move on. You wanted to play as Ezio. That's it. There is that element that also I would support my kids playing Assassin's Creed, not because of the violence. I learned a lot. I mean, personally, I got this passion towards Renaissance Italy, towards Italian history, medieval history, all through Assassin's Creed, honestly.
Creed, wow.
Because they do kind of stick to the elements of reality. Like in Assassin's Creed 2, for example, you start off a game in Florence and you're helping Lorenzo de' Medici, who's a big character, who's a big name in history. Right. And then afterwards you move on to Venice, where you see, so by the time I had gotten the opportunity to go to Italy with my wife, and even before that with my family, I knew things that my family, like, how do you know this?
What about you guys? What are your favorite characters? Hassan, what's yours?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
in terms of everything, yeah. Yeah.
One of my
okay.
favorite characters is Arthur Morgan.
We all have one of our favorite, but what is the absolute best favorite character?
Right
I have a
now,
lot
right
too, but
now,
I chose Sonic.
the last one was Arthur Morgan
I
from
agree.
Red Dead Redemption 2. He
Red Dead
shows you the
Redemption.
story of someone, an outlaw, changing
Yeah.
and becoming
Everyone
better.
says Red Dead Redemption 2
This-
and not mention Part 1.
So
Is there
Red Dead
a
Redemption.
difference?
So I'll
2
tell you,
was-
Red Dead Redemption 1 was revolutionary as a game. It was released by Rockstar, which is known for the GTA games.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea of hunting and being able to skin animals or like, you shoot a falcon in the sky, pick its feathers, go sell it in the market. The idea of commerce in that game was really broadened out and fleshed out. And Red Dead Redemption 2 just took that beyond further.
Yeah.
The map was huge. The wanted system was realistic. You felt like you're living in the Wild Wild West.
That is true.
Okay. And what about you, man?
It's like Skyrim. It's a free world. You just
Skyrim as itself it's a revolutionary game. I've never played it, but it's got such a good following. You have to respect it.
What about you? What is your favorite character?
Don't have one.
You don't have one? So you don't have a favorite game and you don't have a favorite character?
To be fair, he plays PvP games though.
Yeah, he's more of a competitive player.
Yeah,
He
I
likes-
play against other people. I don't indulge in story games.
I mean, I have several favorite character games, but my absolute best is Sonic. Maybe because he's not just my childhood character. The fact that he's the fastest thing alive and all these things, that's
No,
what drew
that's
me
the
to him.
Flash.
But you see, Adam, that does go back into what I'm saying. When we as gamers do develop a kind of connection to the
Yes,
players
a
that we're
bond.
That we
playing.
play with, yeah,
Kind of a
exactly.
bond,
We
yeah.
do. We
Yeah,
are
that's true.
even when you're playing Smash, like, okay, you may play Sonic because you love Sonic, but you'll still always revert back to Mario, who was your original character. You'll always revert back to Peach because you used to play her a lot in GameCube. It's because you have that nostalgia that you used to really dominate in the game with these characters. So you'll
Exactly.
still play
Actually,
with them.
NES was my favorite back in Nintendo 64 days. Remember not NES?
Just like me with
Kirby.
With Kirby.
You were
and now I
with
switched
Kirby,
to Captain
yeah.
Falcon.
And still
that's
Adam
Captain
and still Nart is actually pretty much a challenge with Kirby.
And just before yesterday, when I just picked up Kirby again, I started dominating you guys, and I was like, "Wow, I can play with Kirby
he's,
again."
He's good.
To be
He's
pretty
good.
fair, it was 2 a.m., man. You know that. He was completely tired.
Yeah, man.
That's okay.
There's a rematch coming up tonight. Don't worry, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Very,
one of my
very
favorite games as well, one of my favorite characters would be Commander Shepard from Mass Effect. Have you guys played Mass Effect?
I honestly haven't, but I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those games like Skyrim. I haven't played it, but I have immense respect for the amount of following it has. And
it's
it
amazing.
revolutionized the game.
It did.
It actually has a patented version. I don't know if many of you guys know this, but
BioWare has a patent?
many games actually have patents for the certain things that they do. So you guys know Lord of the Rings,
Of course.
Shadow of Mordor,
Yeah.
Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor.
The
system.
The
gold
Nemesis
system?
system,
Yeah,
the
it's
Nemesis
yeah.
system was developed specifically for this game, patented. No one can copy it, and the idea of it was so revolutionary that you'd go, instead of just killing a captain or letting him go or whatever, and then he just disappears and becomes a missing link. He'll come back. He'll hunt you down. Or if you die to that orc, the orc will then gain a level and become stronger and remember you.
Yeah.
And that idea was just so creative. So it's patented. And also for Mass Effect, the fact that the story, it's really in the player's hands. You get to decide.
That's exactly what made me drawn to it. Yeah.
It's not allowed in any other game. And other games
Exactly.
that tried to copy it actually got sued.
Well,
Wow.
for Mass Effect, I played all of the games, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. My favorite was 2. Mass Effect 3 had a colossal failure when it came to it. Do you remember the ending? Everybody complained about the ending for Mass Effect 3. Anyway, and the last Mass Effect Andromeda was
The last
a disaster,
one
by the way.
really
Andromeda
sucked,
was a
yeah.
disaster.
Yeah.
Everybody hated it. But Mass Effect 2 was the best Mass Effect game. And you're right. What made Mass Effect really nice, really interesting is the storyline, the multitude of options that you have. You get to choose your story. If you have like several options, if you choose option A, that takes you a separate path. Option B, Deus Ex had that even before Mass Effect, back in 2000. That's why Deus Ex is
But
one
no,
of
but
the
it was not as optimal as
one of the best games of
It wasn't
all
as
time.
optimal as the Mass Effect because I used to watch you playing it.
No, but Deus Ex now, and Deus Ex was amazing, man.
Yeah,
Till
part
now,
one,
I mean,
part one, I finished it. That's the only
it
Deus
was
Ex that I
incredible,
played.
man. Imagine just playing a game where you choose the story. You choose what to do. That's
You could actually choose from what I would watch videos that would rank games based. I like these kind of top 10 videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there is this channel called Gamer Ranks, which I love.
Yeah.
And I'm watching them, and they're talking about Mass Effect 2 and the fact that if you choose a story in the wrong way, all your friends can actually die.
Yeah. And I had to repeat the game several times, back to I don't want them to die. You feel guilty, so you have
But
to go
that's
back.
so smart
load the
because it gives the
save
player
file.
that want to
option.
replay the game.
Yes.
Rather than just replaying it for the purpose of just replaying it, you're replaying it because you want to see what happens next. You want to see what could change. That's nice.
And the reason why also you guys he mentioned Deus Ex. The reason why I also loved Metal Gear is because of the storyline.
Yeah.
And the storyline
Metal
is
Gear
great.
story was incredible.
You just
man.
get hooked.
Way ahead of its time as well.
You just get hooked and
Yeah.
you just play for hours,
That is
like
true. That is
non-stop,
true.
and you don't get bored. And the reason why I also get hooked with it is because not only because of the storyline, everything about it is just amazing.
Man, Hideo
And
Kojima.
Splinter-
What was the name of the guy?
Hideo Kojima.
He was, man.
Hideo
This
Kojima
guy's
is,
he's a
Dude,
genius.
Dude, Splinter
Yeah.
Cell tried to
Genius,
copy
yeah.
this. I tried to play Splinter Cell in terms of
It's
like
just not as
espionage
good.
and spy. Nah, it's
not as
boring.
good.
Splinter Cell really sucked.
It-
No,
But
it's
man,
it's,
yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
so
Splinter
bad.
Cell was
What
was
about
MGS
the
was
game that
something
Hideo
different.
Kojima made? What was that game called?
Death
Death Stranding.
Yeah, Death
That was amazing if you played through the story. The gameplay was boring, The story wasn't.
See, but I hate
The
story.
story,
I
yeah.
hate story-based games like Last of Us. Like if I'm playing, if I wanted to watch something for the story, I'll watch a movie. If I want to play a game, I want to play a game. That's why I absolutely hate the Uncharted series. I hate it. I cannot play Uncharted for the life of me.
I can say
I
no.
played
Wow,
Uncharted 1. The
wait,
story
wait,
and
one
the
second,
gameplay
one
was fun.
second. That's
Uncharted
actually,
really made
that's
you like
actually
an
really
explorer.
strange.
Like-
Everyone loved Uncharted. I didn't
Uncharted
play it.
was
That's the thing.
awesome game, dude.
For me, like if I want to play a game where I'm focusing on the story, I can just go on YouTube and write down,
Story, and you'll just see the whole thing.
Uncharted
Exactly.
had amazing gameplay. It was fun. It felt immersive.
It wouldn't be fair for me to criticize it since I only played Uncharted 3 and I hated it.
Uncharted.
And,
I'd
uh,
say give Uncharted 4 a try. They really amp up the gameplay.
Maybe.
For me, Uncharted 1 was the only one I played. That was fun.
Maybe.
One,
It depends. It
two.
depends
I
also
played all
on
of
what
them,
you like,
honestly.
your personal preference. So that's the thing.
That is true. That is true.
What I really like when I play a game, I like to see development. I like to see changes. So for me, the studio that always does this is Rockstar. Always.
Rockstar,
Like,
yeah.
GTA 3, GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas, all were like this revolutionary move. But then GTA 4, when you had that mobile phone and you could call your cousin or you could call someone, and if you don't call them enough, they don't do favors for you. It was just a new dynamic. Then GTA 5, where you could play as 3 different characters going through the same
So
story.
you're saying all Rockstar games they rock.
Rockstar games rock because Rockstar really cares about pushing what they do.
But guys, what about, you're talking about studios. I think this studio, every game they make is a masterpiece. I don't know if you agree with me or not Rockstar. What is it? I'm going to mention the name.
Bethesda?
No, Nintendo.
No. This is my personal opinion. In terms of everything. Every game they release is a masterpiece, and it takes a long time to release a game. Valve. I honestly, Half-Life, the original Half-Life, if you played Half-Life, incredible story. Half-Life 2, Episode 1 and Episode 2, oh my God, man.
The gameplay
The
was
game
incredible.
was incredible. What is a memory that you have, a memorable experience in playing a video game? For me, I remember when I was playing Half-Life, for example, Half-Life 2, Episode 2, I remember you remember the game, the plot? Dr. Gordon and the lady Alex and Dog. And
To be
all
honest,
these-
I was a lot younger than you were when we started playing Half-Life. For me, I was playing Half-Life for the
did
gameplay.
you play Episode 1 and 2? Half-Life 2?
no.
I played
Oh,
I played Half-Life 1. You know, when you get off the train, right? In the beginning of the game?
Half-Life 1 where
when you get off the train.
That's where all hell broke
think that
loose
was-
and the
is that one
creatures
or
came
two?
out.
No,
and-
that was
yeah,
two.
when you
That was
get-
two.
the
that was
Mesa,
two,
the
two.
Black Mesa
Yes,
complex. You go
yes,
there, the portals
yes.
and all that madness.
Yeah, and then you first see those little face huggers.
Yeah,
Oh man,
those little
that
creatures.
scared me so much.
Exactly. It
because
scared
then
everybody.
just after that was Alien,
The
and
ones,
I watched
the ones,
Alien.
who,
No,
the ones that just come like
Yeah.
span and jump at your
Yes.
face.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Remember those ones?
Yeah, bro. Of
So
course I
my
remember
favorite
them.
memory was I was playing Half-Life 2, and the main character was Half-Life 2 Episode 2. The main character was called Alex, and you had remember the doctor, the guy, Dr. Gordon? You're going somewhere and it's completely dark and you hear the noises and you're always fighting monsters, zombies or whatever. So you hear the noise, it's coming from the back. So I turn around, I get startled. I thought there was a zombie behind me and it turns out to be, no, wait a minute. You're actually playing the doctor. You're not playing Alex. Alex is a secondary character.
That's later
She's
on,
with
yeah.
you. So I turn around and it's actually Alex making those noises. She's like, "Ha ha, gotcha!" I was like, "Wow, man!" The immersion.
Yeah.
You were completely immersed in the game.
in the game
Those
itself.
kind of games are incredible. That's why I'm saying Valve makes amazing games. Also, if you played Portal 1, Portal 2,
I played it, but
incredible.
I always found it kind of
This-
boring.
yeah.
The fact
No,
that
I got
man,
bored.
the
I
all
got
you were
bored.
doing was playing with the portal gun. That's
No,
it.
no,
I
no,
like.
I disagree, bro.
I personally do like physics games. Don't get me wrong. I love physics games.
No, the
Portal
story,
was-
the voice acting, the story, the engagement, the
Yeah.
immersion,
I think
all
it was
of that,
with
you know?
GLaDOS, I don't remember. Was,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
the
the main
robot.
villain.
You
yeah,
remember
the robot.
GLaDOS?
Yeah.
Remember the
Yeah.
ending?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Remember the song that she
The
was singing with
birthday
the
cake
robots?
song. There was a
Now I'm
thing in the
happy
middle.
that
It was a
you're...
long time back.
Yeah, it
but
was amazing, bro.
The game had some sense of satisfaction once you finished the
Exactly. It
puzzle.
had a lot of
Yeah.
humor, a lot of sarcasm.
yeah.
Dude, these are the kind of games that make you feel alive.
It's interesting. It was fun.
In terms of guys, Command and Conquer Generals, what were like the teams that you guys
On
like
some
to choose?
shoes.
I'll never
Heroes.
forget.
Force.
I'll never
Hey, we
forget.
gotta-
I'll
we gotta-
never forget. I'll never.
So this is a memory, okay? We're talking about memorable experiences.
I'm giving you a solid memory right now.
This is
So
about me?
there
Okay.
was one point when we used to go to a net cafe called Click, and we would all play generals there.
Yeah.
So-
those were the
Wait,
days,
are
man.
you gonna
Hold
bring
on.
up the Mayar
One
story?
moment.
by any
No,
chance?
yeah.
Okay.
So me and Al Hassan and Anas, our friend, Rashid, and our friend Mayar, we're all playing generals. So it's me and Rashid and Mayar against Anas and Al Hassan. And while Anas and Al Hassan are preparing for war and Rashid's actually holding them off, I am preparing an army, and then I see on the map, you see like this just big red block of Mayar's units. And I'm like, what's going on there? And I go.
Mayar's
and
building
a Chinese
and
army.
Mayar, because he doesn't understand these games, he just summoned one of the same unit. And that one unit can't shoot. It's
He
like
was-
it's called a microwave tank. All it does is disables.
Disables.
Okay? So, and because there's a small animation of like, heat waves, so like, when it's heat, like the kind of like the screen shakes. I went on and my computer crashed because it was like the whole screen was just shifting left and right. Left
Oh
and right.
my God.
I was so amazed at Mayar's stupidity.
But guys, I think you all agree here. This game gave us so much joy. A lot of memorable experiences. The gloating, the taunting. This Super
My
Smash
best
Brothers.
memories in games were while they were there. They were honestly in live service online games. So League of Legends. This one time, I'm leveling. So from level 1 to 30, it takes time. You have to play multiple games. And you know what's going to happen, yeah? So we're winning. We're about to win. And then these guys go, how about we surrender? And I'm like, please no. Please no. And they vote. So
What an
when
amazing
you
team
when
we
you
have right there.
when
We
you surrender in
surrendered
League of
right at the
Legends-
Nexus.
when you surrender in League of Legends, okay, there's like a voting system, and if it's like 4 votes, up to 4 votes, if there's 4 votes to surrender, the surrender happens. Right. So there are 3 guys, and I'm 1, and I vote no. And for some reason, the 4th guy was just like, you know what?
I'll join
surrender.
it.
And, I got so mad, I didn't play with them. For like a month, 2 months, until I finished reaching level 30, until I was ready, then I played with them again. Because there were moments of betrayal, like Enes would run into the jungle and
moments
be like,
of
it's
betrayal.
safe here, and then I'd get killed.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things when your teammates betray you. What about you, Hassan? What is your favorite memory?
There was one time where I was backstabbed by Faisal in H1Z1.
That's your favorite memory?
And no, I was trying to talk back. We were playing
Just to follow
H1.
us.
We were playing a battle royale. Battle royale at the time was really fun. I think it was H1Z1.
H1Z1.
And there was a time we were fighting another team, and they were right in front of us. And as I know it, I got shot in the back. And I think Rashid took my gun as well.
No,
on
there
top of
was
that.
because
And the man who shot me in the back was Faisal. I
Rashid,
started laughing hardcore.
used
The
to-
loyalty right there.
Rashid, because Rashid had convinced me that when everything starts to hit the fan, Shambo and Enes, or Hassan and Enes are gonna betray you.
Right.
So he's like, betray them first. So like
my
as
God.
soon as we started
man.
shooting and I realized we're losing, I took the shotgun and shot Al Hassan in the head, and he took the keyboard and just smashed it on the table.
Wait a minute, which reminds me, guys, whenever we play Smash, when you guys gang up on someone, you team up, and all of the betrayals happen, those are also really great, funny memories, Especially when you gang up on me and try to kill me.
that's the best-
And the
that's the best
satisfaction I
thing
get when I
ever.
kill
It
all
is,
of
it
you.
The thing is,
amazing,
there's
bro.
just, it's like, for me, I never really want to gang up on anybody. But there are times where you and Nart may say like a certain phrase, and when that phrase comes
super
out,
last
when that phrase, hold on.
Wait, guys, pause.
bro,
The last brothers always
wait a
win.
second.
Your response was exactly like mine. I'm like, what?
Listen, Adam, right now, I'm going to take over the show. This is the Amin show. Can you repeat what you just
The
said?
Amin show.
This is welcome to the Amin show. Can you repeat what you said? You don't like to gang up?
I don't.
Yes, you
Man,
like.
there
Oh
has
my
never
God,
been a
man.
game where Faisal would look at me and give me that smile of betrayal. Okay, he'd be like, he'd smile at me and be like, "Let's gang up on this
Okay,
guy."
all right.
I mean, sometimes he chooses a character and he looks at you. It's like as if
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
supposed to.
Exactly.
I don't know what he means. Like something that is understood.
Bro,
by
I know what he
Exactly.
means.
Like, what
We
is it?
all know
I
what he
mean,
means.
Okay, no, but the thing is,
Rephrase that, and I can give them back.
But
the
the
show.
thing is, when it goes, okay, I'm not a person that usually plans who I gang up on. There.
Okay,
Okay. I don't plan
That's
who I
a
gang up on.
political
I
answer.
like to
That's
gang
a
up on
big
people.
lie.
I
You
like
always
to-
gang up, bro.
I like to assist in bullying. I don't lead the bullying.
Hey, excuse me, guys. Shout out to Sabusi, the best stage hazard.
Oh man,
Yeah, stage hazard. That's
No,
the best
but
stage
when
hazard.
it comes down to it, when both Adam and Nart choose to just go the Lash Brothers. Oh,
I mean, it kind of stings, you know.
Something kicks in me.
It
You know?
hurts.
It's just like this pure, just putrid hatred comes out of me, and I just go. I will do all in my power to stop them.
today at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, today.
Yeah, that was,
We're gonna tell you who wins later. Of course, it's gonna be us. Of course.
You make it quite a joke.
We'll keep,
They just said that, and now that hatred is bubbling up right now.
Guys, now let's talk a little bit about the different platforms and types of games. Like, let's say we're going to talk about first-person shooters, RPG, what else? Simulation games, racing games, multiplayer games, online games.
Need for Speed.
Why do we talk about each one of these briefly? What do you guys think? Hassan, let's start with you. What about FPS, first-person shooter games? What can you
FPS
tell us?
questions are directly to this guy.
Yeah.
For me,
Go ahead, man.
Emin's all the way for FPS.
wait, hold on. But for me, I would say
Same here.
open world games were quite the difference for a
Yeah.
game, man. Like the first time I
God.
played Grand Theft Auto,
Oh.
and I stole a car at the beginning.
No, you remember?
And I
And,
shot
you,
people.
and
It
you'd
was-
go to the bomb shop and put a bomb in the car. And then you'd leave it and just wait. You'd wait for hours on end for just someone to go, oh, that's a car. He gets in, it just blows up. And you're like, that is what I was waiting
Yes,
for.
the freedom you have in these games, you know, like is
It changes,
immaculate.
it
It's
changes
different.
everything.
Yeah,
It's amazing. But I don't understand why I don't like open world games. I'm being honest with you. I like a game that has a specific objective and a target.
direction.
Like, for example,
I think it's
direction,
because
you
it's
mean.
generational, though.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
It's generational.
I get bored. If I play GTA, I get bored.
No,
If
but
I
You're
play,
more of a
I don't
platform.
No,
understand.
but Adam, it is generational because due to like, I'm not saying you're ancient compared to us. You're older than us, so you started.
I'm only 36, bro.
Yeah, but
Boomer
yeah, but
alert.
I saw the
30s
first Atari, and I played on the.
There
P-
we go.
Yeah,
Atari
so-
games, N64
They're
games.
directional.
There was
They have a
always
goal.
structure. You finish
Yeah.
the story, you move on to the next
Mario's
level.
not exactly like that, man. Mario was an
maybe
open world game.
Adam
I
just
think.
likes
Not
being
really.
told what to
Mario-
do.
Super
Mario
Mario
64.
yeah.
Mario 64
We gotta
was.
talk about Super Mario 64.
Yeah,
It's
but
one
Mario
of the best games.
Okay, Mario 64 was revolutionary for 3D gaming, no doubt. Mario 64 is semi-open world
No,
because
wait,
you were
Doom
locked
was
behind which
revolutionary
painting
for
you could go
3D.
behind. No, I'm talking about for FPS. It was FPS 3D
No, but
shooters. Yes.
general 3D, wasn't it?
No, N64
Oh yeah,
Mario.
N64 Mario came out
Mario,
before. Yes, yes, you're right, right,
Mario was
But
amazing,
wait,
bro.
guys. In terms of like good memories, I didn't talk about this. It was Super Smash, definitely hands down. It was Pokemon Stadium and Mario Party.
Oh yeah, Mario Party.
In terms of-
Mario Party.
In terms of
Dude,
like,
lots of great
my
memories,
God.
man, with
like
Mario
having a
Party.
gathering,
Mario
like
Party-
guys,
Mario
and
Party
playing the
is
mini games.
Specifically with the microphone games, I will never forget.
Which one were the microphone games? I don't remember.
So Rashid used to have Super Smash, no, Mario Party. I think it was 7 on his GameCube.
Okay.
And there was a mini game where you had to say there was like a plug-in microphone. You'd
Wow.
have to say a game. So our friend
That's
at
the
the
new
time.
one. That's the new
So
Mario
our
Party.
friend at the time, Mariusz, he was playing. And it was his turn to say like the word like banana. And then Rashid just grabs one, strawberry, and he loses all his stars.
That I don't remember. And like in terms
I
of
don't
Mario,
remember the
that's the
mic
new
game.
Mario Party. I think.
wait,
Yeah.
Faisal, what about you? What can you tell us about, well, let's say RPG games?
RPG games, okay. When it comes down to RPG games, like single-player RPG games, like Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy games,
Final Fantasy.
they were always. Kingdom Hearts has a very special place in my heart, especially Kingdom Hearts 1, because I'll never forget. I bought this game when it was one of the first times I ever bought a game which wasn't influenced by my cousins or my friends. I just bought it because I wanted to try it.
On your pure interest, based on your interest.
Because I saw Mickey Mouse on it, and I was like, okay, Disney game which has got action. Let's try it out. And I'll never forget. It was my first time even going to Beirut with my family, and the night before the flight, because you know, your dad will wake you up 6 hours before the flight for some reason.
That is
And
true.
I was sitting there playing the game, and you start on this. I don't even forget the name of the island. You start on the stage called Star Island with the
yeah.
Paupu fruit and whatever, and
Yeah.
the song still plays in your head. and it was amazing. Like it was. I never finished the game. It was too hard.
No, but Faisal, what can you tell us about RPG games in general? We're going to talk about that in
So
general.
let's talk. So if we're gonna talk about RPG games, it's only fair to talk about MMORPG games.
Right.
Massive multiplayer online
Wow,
RPG
here
games.
wow.
Okay.
Honestly,
Praise WoW.
No. Look, Final Fantasy Online, Blade and Soul,
Blade and Soul.
even Guild Wars, even Lord of the Rings Online. They all have their specific followers, their fan base. World of Warcraft, the reason it's so popular, it's one of the first ones.
What about Diablo?
Diablo is the same developer, and Diablo is a single player RPG.
Biohazard, was it?
No, but Blizzard.
Blizzard, right.
And-
Blizzard.
Oh God, I hate Blizzard.
I love it. Okay,
Man, I
so
hate Blizzard.
MMORPG, why World of Warcraft is so unique is that no matter when you started playing World of Warcraft, there's always that nostalgia factor in World of Warcraft. So for people like Sabusi, they started
What about
World
League of
Warcraft
Legends?
Vanilla. No, League of Legends is a MOBA game.
Right.
Yeah, different.
So, but when it comes down to MMORPGs like World of Warcraft, the reason it's so good is I started playing properly in Mists of Pandaria 2013, 2014. And
That was the worst
even though I joined in the ended expansion, and even though I barely played it and I didn't understand the game and I didn't do any raids or dungeons or whatever, I had that love for that game that even when I go back to the Mists of Pandaria zone, I feel that nostalgia kick in.
Right, yeah.
And
So
you know,
nostalgia.
you feel like, and whenever you pass by like the older zones of World of Warcraft, Vanilla and Burning Crusade, you do have that kind of feeling like, I wish I played it when it first came out because I wish I experienced how fun it was to go through these zones.
The reason
the raids were something else. In
I'll
Wrath of the
tell
Lich
this-
King's raids, you
Yeah.
missed.
I'll tell this to
legendary
the
raids.
audience. The reason why I hate Blizzard is because they never paid me back, dude, for the refund. Me and Sabusi.
What are you talking about?
For which game?
I
Call of Duty.
bought. listen. I bought Call of Duty, okay, and I did the ad for it. So when I bought, I was like, wow, okay, this is a game that I need to play. And all thanks to Amin, he's the one who introduced me to the game, by the way, in terms of Warzone Part 1 because of COVID. We were back home, you know, doing nothing, just sitting and getting all depressed. Anyway, so they introduced me to the game, and before going to Call of Duty, I was playing PUBG. So when I just
PUBG
shifted
Mobile.
from, yeah, man, it was. I'm telling you, it was so much
No
fun.
offense to PUBG players, but I don't like that game.
No, it's a big flex for you to say you were playing PUBG because what I saw was you just waiting for Tamar to get all the kills. And
No,
you're
no,
like,
no, no.
good job. You were always like behind the door with the
It
best
was-
guns. No shots.
Wait, let me complete. Wait.
but no, we're
So,
not talking about
just a
cheating.
second. Let me complete. So when I shifted from PUBG to Call of Duty, I was like, okay, wow, Warzone, that's amazing. And it's like Verdansk, and it's like showing Russia and stuff. It's like, it is like the map, everything about it was amazing. So I was like playing, and then, okay, Call of Duty Part 2 came out. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go. I'll buy it. I bought it on Blizzard. You know, Blizzard's engine always crashes for some reason. I have no idea why.
Blizzard has a problem.
And
Yeah.
then I think it was Shambo or...
No, it was me. I
It
told
was
you guys
Amin.
not to buy
Amin
it on
told me,
Blizzard.
why did you buy it on Blizzard? The game's gonna crash. And I still didn't see it. He just said it, you know? He had like this epiphany and he said, bro, it's gonna crash. And then I went, literally it crashed. It never worked. I went for the refund. They never refunded me. And I bought the game twice. So I went through Steam and I was like just informing Sabusi. Sabusi, don't buy the game through Blizzard. He's like, purchase.
But not. Can I just say you're like one of the most entertaining people to play with because whenever you do bad, I mean, we all have our rage factor, which is something about gaming. Yeah, everyone has a rage factor.
That
But,
is- Yeah,
that's true.
but Nart's rage factor is so legendary that even if you weren't there, it's funny to
Yeah,
imagine
it's
Nart
funny.
raging. Because
Oh,
there is a story which I'm gonna relay where Nart was landing through a parachute and everyone died. And everyone,
The one that-
everyone,
in
everyone was
Warzone.
already-
Then it started blaming
everyone
me
was
and
already
stuff,
everyone
yeah.
was already dead because someone was wall hacking and killing them.
No, not
So-
wall hacking.
Somebody
No.
cheating?
No. The story, I was there. It was
The one in
me,
Warzone.
Nart, Rashid. Were you there, Shambo? No.
Yeah, I was there.
Rashid
He
was there.
He was blaming me, man.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
couldn't
It
do
was
anything
like
about it.
30 minutes after we started our fast. 30
Yeah.
minutes. He has no control. Hey, we landed into this Coliseum.
And this is Ramadan.
Yeah, this is Ramadan. We landed into this Coliseum, okay? There was a guy underground, literally underground, just killing people. So I died, and I'm like,
But
"Nart, Rashid, don't come."
was it a legit player or he was
No,
hacking?
he was hacking. He
Oh,
just
okay.
no clip through
He's
the wall.
cheating.
Yeah, he no
Yeah.
clip through the wall. He was behind the wall. Okay, so I was like, Rashid, don't come. Shambo, don't come. Nart, don't come. The three stooges were like, we don't listen. Shambo came, he died. Rashid said this. Shambo said the same thing. Don't come. Rashid came. Now, all three of us said don't come. Nart comes, dies, and just loses it.
Guys, just so that because we don't have much time, so we need to finish this point regarding
The FPS for
regarding the different types of games. So we talked about first person shooter, we talked about RPG. Now let's talk a little bit quickly about platformers. My favorite was Mario. For example, the last Mario game.
Wait, we did not talk about FPS games.
We talked about what did we talk
No,
about?
like we did not really talk about the competitive ones where it's his side
Yeah, it reached to
actually.
Amin.
Okay, I mean, tell us more about FPS games quickly.
FPS. Okay, so FPS games branches out into three types. You have the casual games like Destiny, where you don't really need to aim as much; you just need to shoot. There was also what was that Ubisoft game?
Rayman?
Ghost Recon.
No, he's talking about first
something
person.
similar to Ghost Recon. Those were Ghost Recons where you didn't really have to be active.
The Division.
The Division.
It was like an MMO slash.
Yeah, it was an MMO
yeah.
slash FPS. We have so many different types of FPS. We also have FPS MOBAs.
We're gonna talk about mobile gaming as well.
My favorite would be just strategic FPS, something like CS:GO,
Yeah.
Overwatch, because Overwatch had a mix of both. You had characters you didn't need to aim. Your crosshair was the entire screen. You also had characters where your crosshair was like McCree, where you'd have to go around and one-shot people.
Some of them were very accurate. They
Yeah.
required great skill base. Some of them.
But
less
guys,
skill
when we
base.
talk about FPS, you have to mention Counter Strike.
Of
Yeah,
course.
for me, definitely. Hands down. That was like the
is
first
a
game.
That's
baseline
right.
legendary
Absolutely.
game. Without a doubt.
That's a classic. I've spent over 6,000 hours
The-
playing that game.
We
I've
all
made-
spent
The CS
lots of hours.
Counter Strike 1.3 CS Mansion. That's it.
CS
That was the
True,
game.
true. And
Okay.
come on, man, CS Assault, come on.
No, CS Assault.
But
No.
nothing
no,
beat
no.
Mansion.
was
Pool
something.
party.
Oh,
Or pool party, yeah. Pool
That
party
was
too.
every high school,
Yeah, the episode.
every computer lab, everyone's playing pool party. But yeah,
The
Counter
maps
Strike
are.
Yeah.
was
Guys, who wants to tell us more about strategy games?
Oh, I can
Go
on
ahead.
that for
What can you
hours.
tell us about
Honestly,
strategy games?
RTS
But guys, we
games-
gotta make it brief.
RTS games, so strategy games, it would depend on what you're playing. So RTS, one of my favorites, Age of Empires, Warcraft.
Oh,
Warcraft
Age of
Age
Empires, my
Empires.
favorite. When
So
I was a
Age of
kid, I used to
Empires-
play
Age of
that,
Empires-
man.
Age of Empires
Wait,
is
don't you remember the hack cheat code? Who's your daddy? Was it Who's your daddy?
for what?
Who's your dad?
That was
Empires
no,
one,
no.
where you'd get
no,
that card that would shoot like
no.
pellets.
That's how you turn this thing on.
Oh yeah, how do you turn
Yeah,
this thing on?
Who's Your Daddy was in Warcraft where you would become invincible.
Ah, okay. So,
Okay.
okay.
You would become invincible.
What kind of cheat
Okay.
code is that?
No,
It was-
it's a legit cheat code
Yeah.
built in by
Wow.
the developers. Strategy games, you got RTS games like Age of Empires and Warcraft. This is if you want to play really quick based. Then there are turn-based strategy games like Civ and Total War games.
So 5
So
days of
Total
the
War
game.
games are some of my favorite games because of the whole. It's not just the battlefield you have to think about. It's also the politics of it all, the economics. So in Total War, for example, medieval. Okay, you're playing as one of the empires, the Ottomans, the Holy Roman Empire, the English, whatever. But it's not just create an army, go attack your enemies. It's sometimes it'll be like developing political ties. So you'd have to plan it out. It was
What about
really
guys?
fun.
What about racing games? For racing games, I gotta mention the name Need for Speed.
Yeah, Need for Speed
Oh
Underground.
yeah,
Underground.
definitely.
From my
Definitely.
memories,
Underground.
Underground.
Guys,
That
you
was the
remember?
game.
From my childhood memory, exactly. And my childhood memories is okay. Let me do it again. Gran Turismo. Remember Gran Turismo? PlayStation.
PlayStation
Oh man, that was
Gran
amazing,
Turismo.
bro.
No,
That
no,
was
no, guys, I have one little topic. Burnout.
Burnout,
You guys ever
yeah.
play Burnout?
No, I didn't
Burnout
play.
is pretty fun.
I
Burnout
didn't play
was a
Burnout.
racing game where if you crash into a car, you'd see proper crashes of cars like flipping in slow
Yeah,
motion.
they had really good physics when
Yeah,
it comes.
physics was insane.
Yeah.
I didn't
was
play that game.
Amazing.
We
Burnout
also have
Paradise.
Asphalt, but that's more like mobile gaming.
Nah, I didn't like it.
Asphalt?
Yeah,
That
it was-
game was trash, bro.
Asphalt.
It was
They copied Burnout. Honestly.
exactly.
It's basically
Yeah,
worse
exactly.
version.
I didn't like it.
And what about guys? What could you tell us about esports or sports games? Let's talk about sports games. Honestly, I never liked sports games. No offense to people who love sports
I'll
games.
tell you
I never
something
liked
about
them.
esports. In my department,
Guys, who
which
played
is,
Winning 11?
Winning
PlayStation
Ele-
1.
Oh my God!
Wait, let me do this. Let me do this.
It's
Winning
like
11 is
done.
something
Let me do
different,
this.
man.
Sato, winning 11 4. Power
my
rest was
guy.
99%.
All I remember when it comes down to that, when it
FIFA,
comes
of
down to
course.
like original noises, was whenever here comes Ronaldo and it's a goal, it's a goal, and then you because the graphics are so bad, your guy would run like this. It's like,
Wait, Hassan, you were saying something, man. Tell us more
Yeah, I
about
was
sports.
talking about esports and fighting games actually.
Yeah, let's talk about fighting games.
This is something very exciting, honestly, to be like, you get to see every type of champion like right now, I think the champions in Tekken are Pakistani people. Before
Yeah.
it used to be Koreans.
What's the best fighting game, guys? I'll give you options. Either it's
The best
Tekken,
fighting game is Tekken, definitely.
Oh,
Mortal
come
Kombat.
on.
Mortal Kombat.
There's
I'm
Mortal
sorry to
Kombat,
say
there's
this,
Tekken.
but Mortal Kombat is like the.
What about Capcom? What about Street Fighter? What about Street Fighter
Guys,
as well?
I just want to remind everyone, no one mentioned Smash, but okay.
Yeah, wait a minute. Guys, Smash is a fighting game.
because-
That's
no,
true.
When it
That
comes
is
down,
true.
when it comes down to the fan base, the fan base of Smash compared to Mortal Kombat and Tekken,
Like one-on-one, you mean?
Definitely. the
Dude,
top
Smash
ten.
has
Tekken is one of the
thousands.
largest competitive games
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
world.
But
right
Dude,
now.
have you seen Smash tournaments? Like when I saw the numbers, 300,000? Like what? 300,000 people coming to play Smash, guys. That's an insane
The
number.
reason, no, but the reason Tekken, so there's Tekken is the simplified version of Virtua Fighter. Do you guys know Virtua Fighter is? Virtua Fighter
That is a very old
Virtua
game, bro.
Fighter is actually still attributed as one of the most realistic fighting games ever. Okay,
Yeah.
but Virtua Fighter, because Virtua Fighter's
Soul
character design
Calibur
was boring, story was boring.
I feel like Soul Calibur tried to
Soul
copy
Calibur,
Tekken.
Soul,
I didn't-
no,
Dead
Soul
or
Calibur,
Alive.
Soul Calibur was swords, a lot of swords
Yeah, yeah,
and a lot of
Yeah.
weapons. But and Soul Calibur is fun. Don't get me wrong, but Tekken and like the top games I've ever seen are Tekken and Mortal Kombat in the sense of legacy and the amount of years they've been in
But
operation.
for me, classic games,
How come you guys
Capcom's
never
games
mentioned
were the
Street
best.
Fighter?
Street Fighter.
That's what I'm saying. Street Fighter was a
Fighter is-
classic. It's amazing.
you can't
bro.
be a fan of both Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
I'm a
They're
fan of
both,
both.
they're both enemies.
No,
That's
Tekken
true.
and Street
I'm a
Fighter.
fan of
No,
both.
no, no.
It's more Tekken and
It's
Street Fighter.
Mortal Kombat and
it's-
Street
no,
Fighter.
it's Tekken and Street Fighter. That since the dawn of Tekken and Street Fighter, it's always been a classic.
Street
Street Fighter
Fighter is a
is-
bit of a slow paced
No,
game. It's
Street
much
Fighter-
more. There's like
Turtling and
Street
Yeah,
Fighter
there's more
came out.
turtling.
This is the story. This is just a brief history. Street Fighter came out around the 90s. Street Fighter was one of the most successful fighting games, right?
Dude, Street
Yeah.
Fighter
At the
brings back
time, yeah.
memories,
Then Mortal
man.
Kombat
Oh,
came out,
arcades,
and
man.
Mortal
Brings back
Kombat. Why was
memories.
Mortal Kombat revolutionary? Because Mortal Kombat allowed
Finish
you to
you.
do exactly
Finish you.
Yeah.
fatalities, brutal
Fatality.
deaths, and whatever. And honest, it was Mortal Kombat's the whole controversy behind Mortal Kombat of showing blood, right? So when Mortal Kombat came out on N64, there was no blood.
There's a lot of gore.
There was no blood or gore in
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat N64 because it was banned to do that. So
The
they had to
best
remove
one?
that. But the arcade version had all the blood, all the
Yeah,
gore.
all the
People
gore.
loved
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And remember the PlayStation version? That's even worse, man.
Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter really fought together, and you can see it even in the way they do their games. So Street Fighter, Capcom has Marvel. So Marvel versus Capcom. Then DC is also a partner to Mortal Kombat. They're both rival gaming. So Mortal Kombat versus DC had come out, which was a completely bad game. And then there was Street Fighter versus Capcom versus Marvel, which is amazing, has gone through generations. It does depend on your taste, but you cannot love both. You just can't.
I can. I love both.
But you're not a big fighting game fan, though. Like
I still
you've
play.
never challenged us to Mortal Kombat or Tekken.
That's true. But I got to say something about Smash, guys. This is my opinion, and I think you agree. The reason why Smash is so
It's
popular.
a winning combination.
Hold on a sec. Let me tell you the winning formula behind Smash.
I know
The
why.
reason why
I know
Smash
why.
is much more fun to play with rather
Because
than
it's
Tekken.
stretched out, the damage ratio.
Exactly. Rather than Tekken or any other game or Mortal Kombat or anything. Why do you think we always play Smash when we meet up? It's because the way they design the game, first of all, the damage meter. Unlike all the other games where you have a damage meter, a health bar, and then once that health bar is
Someone told me-
exhausted, you
Someone
die.
told me it was patented as well. I think it was you.
I was just about to say, circling back, it's a patented technology.
It's more fun with Smash because you get knocked off the stage.
There were games
You
that
can
tried
come
to
back.
copy the Smash formula. There was PlayStation All Stars, which is an amazing game.
They
but
try to copy
you could
Smash.
you could only kill each other if you use the ultimate move. Okay, even traps, even falling off stage wouldn't really kill you. Okay. And then there was Digimon Rumble Arena, which
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, man,
it's a
Digimon,
cult,
bro.
it's-
You
it's
and
a
Rashid,
cult-
you and
it's
Rashid
a
with
cult
Digimon.
classic. It's a cult classic, and I genuinely believe me and Rashid Gagash are the best players in the world right now, hands down. We're the only players, but we're the
Okay.
best players.
That's a big claim. I'm pretty sure people are going to comment in the video and say,
wait,
"Oh,
one
you,
second.
how
I would
dare you
accept
say
that
it's
challenge in a heartbeat.
Faisal, you
A
have to
heartbeat.
agree on this. Wait, 1 second. And I'm going to say this to the audience. I never played Digimon Rumble Arena. And these guys invited me to play.
He beat
I
Rashid
thought it was
Trust
a
me.
knockoff, honestly.
Wait.
It is.
It's come on,
It
man.
is.
I
It
kept
is.
Smash
on-
is the
I
original
kept on
game.
defeating them, dude. I'm telling you, even Faisal didn't understand. Like,
No,
Nard,
no, no,
how,
no.
how do you know
No,
how to
no,
play
no.
this game?
No.
And then he switched to some game called Mech Warrior.
Oh, that.
I will never forget that day. Bro, trust me.
Mech
I'm
Warrior.
telling you, that
Oh
day
my
I
God.
was like a villain, dude.
This will
Chilling.
never end. I will never hear the end of this story.
Tell them the story, bro.
Look,
Wait.
just for me to continue
Tell
on to
them the
this.
story,
Okay, no,
yeah.
I'm gonna let it go. Okay. When it comes down to Smash, the patented tech is one way, and also the fact that Smash did something no one else can do.
Which is
Nintendo had already a lot of fan base between each individual game. Mario, Kirby, Zelda, all of them had their own individual fan bases. All they did was they just capitalized by mixing them all together and make it into one game.
and now they have a lot of guests.
That's what made it so popular. The fact that you already had individual games with fan bases. That's what other games that tried to copy didn't understand.
They couldn't understand, yeah.
People don't want to play a game where they're fighting each other. Like PlayStation kind of understood that when they had the Pokoro singing dog game.
Remember Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, all of those PlayStation
All
characters?
those characters
Yeah.
were in PlayStation All Stars, but PlayStation All Stars failed in the formula that they just didn't get what Smash did.
Yeah.
And the
Smash,
game that you
Yeah.
played also Spyro.
and don't forget, Smash had a creator and a development team that they had a passion for this game. It wasn't just work; it was a passion
One of
project
the
for
best
them.
games ever, man.
And that's exactly what it was.
Exactly. Now, guys, let's briefly talk about mobile gaming.
Can we not? Because this is something I don't think any of us touch.
Absolutely. But guys, hold on a sec. Guys, we don't want to offend. Guys, we don't want to offend mobile gamers. We don't want to offend mobile gamers.
Look, let's be honest. Mobile gaming, the phrase mobile gaming, if we're not talking about literal mobiles, we're talking about mobile, being mobile while
Yeah,
you game.
that's also something.
That's the future.
Right.
Asus ROG is coming up with their
Absolutely.
own handheld.
Don't forget Switch. Yes.
Switch revolutionized it actually by creating the Switch. Nintendo may make stupid consoles, but those consoles sometimes break the barriers.
That is
the
true.
Switch, before the Switch, there was the Wii U, if you guys remember the.
Absolutely. And before that, remember it was based actually on the DS. Remember the DS? DS died because of mobile gaming.
That for them was how they could move on and revolutionize. So Switch came out. The Steam Deck is now out. The ROG is coming out. PlayStation is going on to mobile gaming, which their PSP was.
But the PSP died, bro. The PS Vita died. The PS Vita.
But
We're
the
bad.
PSP was good.
Yeah, the PSP.
PSP was my childhood.
The PSP was my.
For me, no. Game Boy was my childhood, honestly. Game Boy.
yeah,
No, but you
hands
can
down
never-
was the
wait,
best.
Game
Game
Boy
Boy
handheld-
was mine too,
best
man. My
handheld
first
console.
game ever was Pokemon Yellow.
Right. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Red.
I like Pokemon Yellow because Pikachu.
Oh,
Wait,
Charizard.
Honestly
Yeah, wait,
speaking,
one
what's
second.
the difference between red and yellow? And
Dude, it's potato,
Pikachu would follow you.
man.
And Pokemon Yellow is the only one that gave you Pikachu.
And guys, do you remember Game Boy Advance? Of course. The Game Boy Advance revolutionized, in my opinion, the handheld consoles. Yeah, it was amazing at the time.
They were the first console to have 3D gaming in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it was
Technically,
very mild garbage.
But the thing is, to me, like
Very
Nintendo
primitive.
really needs to step up their game.
They
up
do.
I disagree
They do.
with you.
in terms of
Nintendo.
consoles.
I disagree
Yeah,
with
man.
you.
No.
I
The only
disagree.
good thing about Nintendo is
Ninte-
that in terms of family and gatherings and
No.
friends, that's the
no,
fun part
no,
about
no,
Nintendo.
No, I'm sorry to say I completely disagree
Yeah.
with you because Nintendo.
Can you
have-
compare it to PlayStation? No way.
Yes, I can.
No, in terms of
Yes, I can.
in terms of performance, no way.
Get performance. People do. There are very little people who just play a game because of the performance. They play the game because they want to play the game.
No,
it's
look,
called
look.
a game.
It's fun.
No, but they have a good point. Performance is an issue. But then if you consider that PlayStation brings in different developers to make games, so it's harder to optimize games. Meanwhile, Switch is Nintendo. They're the same developers. It's like Apple. Why is Apple apps smoother than Android apps? Yeah, because they're optimized. Because Apple has to optimize.
There are hardware limitations. For example, I bought the Sonic game. I bought Sonic. What was it? I can't remember. Not Sonic Heroes. No, it was a Sonic game on the Switch. I really can't remember. It was, let's just say Sonic Heroes. I bought a Sonic game on the Switch, and I have it on the PC. On the Switch, it's so bad. And you know, Sonic is a fast-paced game, so it's not even playable on the Switch. It was a waste of money because of the limitations of the graphics processor, the NVIDIA Tegra that is in the Switch.
Compare PC to a console that was made to be portable.
No, for example, you can't compare PS5. Look at PS5 and the Switch. I have Sonic on the PS5, and it's amazing, bro.
On my PC versus a console, it will make console look.
I understand, but for example, if you take the PS5,
Okay, but for a guy like me that has, I'm on the job and then my work ends, and then I have my wife, and then I have my family to think about, and I have so many other responsibilities. I don't have time to just sit down, because when you're playing a PlayStation or even on PC, you have to dedicate time to be
You're
able to
right.
sit
We don't
down.
have much time, man. Yeah, we don't have much
You're
time.
not on the
True.
move, but when you're taking out
That
your
is true.
Switch, you can just be like, okay, I'll join you guys, and you just sit in the car and you're playing Zelda. It's like, why not?
Guys, to wrap up the thing about mobile gaming, honestly, no offense to guys who play on the phone, but this is not real gaming, let's say.
No, I disagree. It is
No, I
gaming.
disagree. It is-
Gaming
it
is
is-
gaming. Doesn't matter.
Gaming is whatever.
Because a lot of
de-stresses you.
gamers say
Yeah.
that's not real gaming, you know? That's
Mobile gaming and streaming games, both of them together are going to be something
big in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
Guys, when they step up the graphics performance on these devices, I think maybe then we can call them like
Yeah, but it depends.
Real
Well,
the
the
thing
thing
is-
you don't,
again,
you don't
guys,
really need that, since you're streaming games. Really,
No, but the thing is, guys,
Yeah,
you
okay,
cannot
look,
say
he
that
has a
mobile
point,
gaming
but-
sucks, because you
no,
have to know that.
we're not saying it sucks.
Yeah, no, because Adam was saying
He's
like
saying
mobiles
mobile gamers are not real gamers.
that's what everybody says. A lot of people can say. Yeah.
Give people who game credit, because we're a community. People game for different
Exactly.
reasons. You game to escape reality. You game to
Exactly.
connect, to
I
spend
mean-
time. There's so many things you want to do. If you play Candy Crush, I'll consider you a gamer. That's your de-stress method.
Yeah, I mean, my
Yeah, but also
brother-in-law, my brother-in-law actually plays Call of Duty on his phone.
Yeah.
He likes
No,
it.
but also don't forget that phones literally just like eradicated the DS. Any portable.
Yeah, that was the
handheld
reason the
device.
DS died.
The Nintendo DS.
It just
While
died because
the
of the
Nintendo
phones.
DS was amazing, but hey, everything that has a beginning has an end.
Has a lifespan.
Yeah. Because if it doesn't improve, we wouldn't have gotten the Switch. We wouldn't have.
I mean,
gotten
I
Steam
still
Deck.
have a Game Boy SP
By the way,
that
not
works.
necessarily.
I have a DS that works.
I still have a
SP.
DS that works. I still have a DS. DS was something else.
But wait, not necessarily. You have World of Warcraft. People are still playing
No,
it.
World of Warcraft
World of
is-
Warcraft's winning formula
It's
is
a software. It doesn't die. Softwares last forever.
No, World of Warcraft is the virtual equivalent of crack cocaine.
Yeah, guys, which brings me to the next topic. Now, let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of gaming. First, let's talk about advantages. In my opinion, one of the advantages of gaming is that gaming, helps improve your imagination, hone your imagination skills. Also, problem-solving skills, because a lot of games require you to be creative. How can you solve it? The puzzles, the challenges in the game. You have to use your head,
Especially
right?
like if you play Zelda, man.
Man, you know, there was a study, guys. Remember that? I don't know if you know about this study, but they said that gamers, actually, the people that play games, they reduce their risk of Alzheimer's and mental illness because they use their brains a lot of the times, right? You have to use your brain. So that's one of the advantages of gaming. That's my opinion. Disadvantage.
Don't forget, the more important advantage is social skills. Games teach you social skills,
especially
that-
online games.
Yeah, that translate
Online
very
games.
accurately into real life. Because without gaming, I would not socialize.
Knowing how to negotiate, knowing
yeah,
these things
it,
that
it
matter.
taught me e-commerce as well. It literally taught me e-commerce like RuneScape.
It all depends on the game you play.
Don't you think that gaming reduces your risk of depression and things like that? I think. Wait, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword.
People get too addicted and throw their life away. Some people use it as an escape temporarily. Again,
I think
it's-
games are also a very entertaining way to interest you into something. So I'm naturally interested in history.
Right.
But my extreme interest towards, for example, Chinese history all roots from Dynasty Warriors.
Oh,
I
man,
played
that
Dynasty
game,
Warriors
bro.
2, 3, 4, 5,
I have
6,
to agree
7,
with him
8,
on this.
9, and 9. That was the last one. Plus Extreme Legends that was in between. Plus Empires.
was,
Plus
it
whatever.
was.
And let's be honest. All
Wait,
these
wait,
games,
I
the
have a certain
story
question.
never changes. It's not like history is gonna change, but you still played it because you're like, I
Faisal,
can't wait.
I have a very important question regarding her history. Was Lubu as powerful as the game, as in the game as well?
Honestly, like even that is like, yeah, Lubu was considered
was a
one of
monster.
the greatest duelists in Chinese history, one of the greatest warriors in human history. And in the game, he was just a complete, wrecking ball. You just come like your horse would be running at 60, like, I don't know, 6 miles per hour, or whatever, and then his like running like a Ferrari.
I'd like to add to that also from a tech perspective, because I'm a tech guy. I like tech. the kind of tech you see in the games, the AI stuff. For example, in Mass Effect, they talk about quantum entanglement. I was like, what is that? That got me interested. It piqued my interest.
Bro,
When
forget
Edie
about
was
this.
talking
Deus
about,
Ex. Deus Ex
dude,
was a big part of this.
yeah, artificial intelligence is used, talked about always in games and things like that. So that piqued my interest in quantum mechanics and things like, quantum tunneling and no matter the distance. They said that in Mass Effect. For example, it doesn't matter what kind of distance. If you have, I don't remember the physics behind it, but if you manipulate the particles in a certain way, they will always be connected, no matter what the distance between them. Yeah.
Just to also follow up with Adam, I used to. That's how by the way, that the game is really nice. Is that sometimes you don't play it, and I watch my brother playing it, and I'm just like immersed into the game. I literally enjoy watching him
that has
playing
nothing
it.
to do with the game. That has something to do with streaming and watching playthroughs. Some people like playing a game. Some people like watching the game.
Yeah, my sister likes. Shout out to Dana. Dana, if you're watching this, my sister used to love watching me playing Deus Ex. I don't know why she used to
But
love
would
it.
she ever pick up the game no matter how much you watched you?
After that, she started. Yeah, I don't know. She's a gamer now. Yeah, she does. Guys, you remember the episodes we did in Art and I about artificial intelligence? I mentioned Mass Effect, I mentioned Deus Ex, so that's why I'm mentioning these things. If you watched our episodes, right, guys? So that was one of the reasons I got into AI. Games piqued my interest in artificial intelligence. It's a recurring theme in games.
Like, it's not that games just teach you about history. They teach you about it's a more entertaining way to teach you something rather than going to class and having some boring person
he
talk
likes
to you about it.
sci-fi games, like anything that is like with tech and stuff. For me, I love
sci-fi.
realistic games.
Yeah.
Anything that is like
start
based,
playing-
Redemption.
exactly. Anything that is
then
based
start
on
playing Escape
reality
from Tarkov.
and has like, I
that's-
gotta play this.
Start
I gotta
playing,
play this
because
man.
that game's too
I
scary.
mean,
for me
like,
to play
honestly,
alone.
like, even it teaches you how to be able to read a person. So just quick
there
tangent. In Division, which we were talking about, there is, when you reach the end game, you have to go into the center of New York City. And the center of New York City is considered a contaminated zone, where you get the best kind of guns, best kind of loot, but you can't use it because it's contaminated. So you have to extract the loot out from certain spots where a helicopter would come. And until then, if you die, anyone can take that loot
Other
from you.
players are there too.
So we were doing a boss fight where some people started joining us, and I got a legendary gun. And then they were like, "What'd you get?" And I was about to say it, and then I go, "Oh, and I got nothing." And because the game would allow people to listen in if they're close enough to you, I could not tell the guys on mic. But thank God we were in a net cafe. Beside
This
each
is
other,
just
so
like
whatever.
in the new Call of
So
Duty.
when
You
we
can
go to the
speak to them.
extraction point, they realize, wait, why does he want to extract after one boss? He has a legendary, and we start fighting each other as I'm extracting my guns.
And guys, if you remember this TED Talk, you guys know TED Talk. There was this lady, her name was Jane McGonigal. She's a gamer. She had a TED Talk about gaming and the benefits of gaming. And she talked about the 5 regrets that a lot of senior people have, like the elderly, in an elderly home. Yeah. One of the regrets was that not spending quality time and not having fun in your life. And gaming provides that. And social interaction.
Gaming also gives you great hand-eye coordination. So doctors.
Exactly, right. Dexterity. You're talking about dexterity.
I'm talking about even control. Laparoscopic surgery, which is where you have a literal machine going through someone's body. It is as delicate as if you were to do this hard enough, it could lacerate someone from the inside.
Right.
So you have to control very delicately how you
That
go
is
in.
true. That's true.
And many doctors, especially like the older generation, they say, my kids play PlayStation. They're like, we support it because we know this is what we're using.
Let's be completely objective. We are all gamers, so we don't want to be biased. Let's talk about the negative aspect of gaming, and I want to finish the episode with this. There's advantages and disadvantages for everything.
Do we mention it? Do we mention it in terms of the games?
In general,
themselves,
we're going
or
to talk
in general?
about in general.
The
So
gaming.
Okay.
let's
itself.
talk about the disadvantages of gaming, and I think the most important disadvantage, if you agree with me, is the addiction aspect.
Exactly.
So a lot of people actually can get addicted to games.
I disagree. It's not the addiction to gaming. It's the gambling that's been.
Not just the gambling. If you start disregarding your responsibilities in life,
No,
That's fine. That's fine.
Microtransactions have really destroyed certain people's lives.
Yeah, because look, I'll tell
I
you
mean,
why.
there are stories of kids who use their mom's credit card, $2,000 in debt
No,
because
that's true,
she
that's
didn't
true.
know.
20,000.
Yeah.
Look, the difference is if you're addicted to a game, it's fine. You still have your money, you have your life savings, your family, whatever. When you start gambling, You're willing to sell your mother for a loot box, your father, your brother, and your sister. You're willing to steal from family. That's what breaks a family. And when you break a family, sometimes there's no coming back. So gambling is the biggest issue, which Europe is tackling very well.
I respect that, but from my perspective, I think it becomes a problem when you start disregarding your responsibilities as a man or a woman if you're gaming. For example, you see a lot of these memes. The girlfriend or the wife gets pissed off. She leaves the guy because the guy's gaming all day. He's doing nothing. He's sitting on his butt, gaming all day, doing nothing but gaming. So if that happens, then that becomes a disadvantage. This is my opinion. Exactly. What do you think, Hassan?
I mean, yeah, like you said, there's a lot of addiction. There's a lot. If there is addiction, there is time waste.
Time wasted. But wait a minute, Jane McGonigal, if you watch that TED Talk episode, you guys have to watch that. She argues in favor of gaming, and she says that a lot of people that say you waste your time with gaming. So if you go back to the 5 wishes of the elderly, and then their deathbed, they say that I wish I spent more time on myself. I wish I didn't work so hard. So
say one of the biggest disadvantages of gaming is you have to really be careful over what a child or even a young adult would understand as realistic. So, for example, and this is a real story,
we have to talk about
we used to play Tekken.
Yeah.
And in Tekken, Paul would have a move where he would grab the person over his head and then throw them on the ground. Me and Rashid are in Holland Park in London, and Rashid and me say, let's play Tekken, where he's Jin and I'm Paul, and I grab Rashid above my head and I just throw him on the ground.
Oh my God.
I almost killed Rashid.
Honestly, it's not in Tekken mostly. It's mostly in WWE games.
But the second disadvantage is that it can desensitize you. And I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how.
But wait, we have to talk about ratings. And I'm very strict with my child. So for example, my child wants to play Minecraft. And he kept begging me. He watches, it's 9, it's actually 10 plus. So I keep telling my child, no, Alan, you're not. You guys, just stick to the age rating systems of the games. I'm not going to let my child play, what?
You can't stick to the age rating because that's a general idea. You're a father. You don't have.
I disagree. There's a reason for there's a reason for age rating systems. I can't let Alan, for example, sit down and see me watching Mortal Kombat, for example. You know how horrible Mortal Kombat is for a child? Dude, that's going to traumatize my kid. I'm not going to let him do that.
Talking to a guy that used to play Mortal Kombat when he was 6.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. And let's be honest, when I was playing Mortal Kombat, it was pixelated images of people, and there wasn't really much, and the blood didn't seem realistic. Now it's so gory that even we sometimes.
Dude, it's like, ooh, that's. Imagine for a child, you know, the violence.
Well, when it comes down to age ratings, don't forget there are lots of considerations that the companies do take into consideration. Like Minecraft is actually like a 5+ game. It's only that there's certain scary elements that might psychologically disturb.
Guys, that's what I thought. You know, I let my kid watch Minecraft. There's a show on Netflix, and I thought it was fine. So he started watching it with me. It said at the time, I think it was 8+. The kid was about 6. So I thought, you know, it's just 2 years. Let him sit down and watch it. He started watching it, and they were, like you said, some scary aspects, some monster lurking, some scary music. The kid started getting scared to the point that he could not continue watching. I was shocked. Like, why? I was like, Alan, come on. This is, you know. Yeah, he has to learn. But at the same time, what I'm trying to say is we don't want to raise a generation of snowflakes. That's absolutely true. But I really think that the age rating system is there for a reason. And if you stick to it, you're much better off.
But there's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, I think for us, the difference is for us as gamers. Yeah. I mean, me personally. Yeah. I would not let my kid play Mortal Kombat right now because of how gory.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's true. He can play it later.
I also would not wait until my kid's 18. Like when he's 15, I'll let him play.
Fine, fair enough. I'd say +- 2 years. +- 2 years.
Where I would explain to him that it's absolutely unrealistic for a person to just push their hand into your chest. That's impossible.
Guys, I'll give you an example. We haven't even talked about the horror genre, which has a big following, horror games. So, dude, even I get scared playing horror games. Dude, they're too traumatizing.
I got scared from Half-Life.
Do we have time, Marwan?
We have to wrap it up, guys. So, but imagine you let your 7-year-old child, for example, or even a 10-year-old child, play a game like, give me a horror game. Let's say Dead Space. Resident Evil or Dead Space, okay? Or one of the most famous horror games. What was it? You know it.
Insidious.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Ghost Recon,
Five
Rainbow
Nights
Six.
at Freddy's is terrifying.
No. Five Nights at Freddy's is not terrifying. It's jump scares.
It's
the
more
horror
jump
is
scares.
what's that camera game? Where you run around with the camera.
Blair
Outlast.
Witch.
Outline. Imagine a child 10 years old playing one of these games. How traumatizing is that, bro? This is what I mean by
No,
this.
It's
but- but
traumatizing, but at the same time, it's like making a
No,
a
but the
kid
psycho-
watch Chucky.
Which is wrong. I watched Nightmare. Guys, I gotta tell you something. I gotta let you in on a secret. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a child. I shouldn't have watched that. I was like maybe 7.
I watched it with you, and I couldn't
Dude,
sleep.
I got so scared. I was traumatized. My parents didn't know. It wasn't the fault of my parents. I just watched it because they used to put these things on Channel 33, if you remember, Dubai Channel, late night. And I was late. It was summer. My parents are sleeping. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this. What is this? I was a kid, so I watched it. I got traumatized. I couldn't sleep for 3 days. And you know, in Nightmare on Elm Street, the thing about the plot, Freddy Krueger, he comes to you when you're dreaming. So I was a kid. I was like, he's gonna come to me if I fall asleep. So imagine me, poor little kid, can't fall asleep, so scared. My cousin watched it with me, by the way, and he was 2 years older than me. He had nightmares for days. And then my aunt's like, what did you guys do? My kid, what did you guys do at him? I said, oh, we watched a Nightmare on Elm Street. So that's why you have ratings.
Thank you. You've just given me insight of how you go to sleep after we're done playing Smash.
I gotta say, that's a good one, man.
And on that note, yes.
On another note, you see, he said Nightmare on Elm Street. What
Right.
really made me afraid is Chucky.
Yeah,
As a kid,
dude,
man,
Chucky,
Chucky,
yeah.
bro.
Kids, bro.
Chucky
I've
was
never picked up a doll, whatever.
to the point that my neighbor had Chucky the doll,
Are
dude.
you kidding me?
I swear, yeah, man, he had it.
God.
And
But
he
you know-
came to me with it. And dude, he came
had
with
a
it.
nightmare right there.
it was-
Guys, you have to understand.
Listen,
Nart's
listen,
weakness,
it was Ramadan.
Pumpkin and Chucky.
Yeah, it was. And pumpkins.
Yeah, pumpkins.
It was Ramadan. It was Ramadan, and the guy came with a Chucky doll. I'm like, damn. I'm like, I went back home.
Exactly. So these are the.
But I have a question. What makes horror games really interesting? I know you're scared and everything, but I think it's the most interesting thing.
Because
Like,
it's,
the
it's
plot,
ambiguous.
the story.
Fear element, bro.
No,
That's-
no,
The
no,
fear
no,
element
the
and-
sci-fi element of the science fiction. The story is unmatched. We don't get
Yeah.
horror stories in any other game except
like
horror
the
stories.
story unfolds a bit.
And to make it worse, guys, we haven't even talked about virtual gaming like VR. Even imagine playing horror games with a VR headset. That's insane.
So that's a remedy. That's a recipe for a heart attack.
I'll tell you.
for sure.
Don't you remember that the VR place we tried? It was so much fun. You, me, Anas, and Ali.
Yeah.
We
Listen,
wear
listen. I'll tell you why
VR
people
glasses,
like to
we walk
watch
around.
horror movies and like
Yeah. The biggest
games at
example
the
is
same
probably
time.
Ahmed
The reason
Dargash.
why is you get really outstanding with this. Like you go to the movies, and instead of like seeing men like going there to watch like horror movies, you see ladies, girls, seriously, and they just love the fear element. And the reason why is because it just gets you immersed, like
It
in a way, like
excites
oh
them.
Yeah,
yeah,
immersion.
it excites you. Who's the guy behind the door? Like where's the fear scene
I wanna
gonna
know,
come
I wanna
from?
know. Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah, yeah.
So being ambiguous just causes you to go and play it or to watch it.
In any case, just like to close on that point, is just the desensitization of gaming is really something that happens to all of us. Like Dead or Alive is definitely a game that is rated 12 plus, but it's not.
Yeah.
There is nothing 12 plus about Dead or Alive, as we all know.
And
You
the
look it up
movie was
after-
I
so
would say
bad.
Dead or Alive is a 16 plus game. Like a kid has to understand what they're looking at, not these bazongas on a girl.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
whoa,
come on.
we're not fighting.
No, but the age rating is 12 plus. Don't forget, even plus,
Yeah.
even plus 2, they're still too young for that.
Sometimes the ratings are just wrong.
So this is my opinion, guys. I think you all share my opinion, guys. Whoever's watching this, respect the age rating. If you're an adult, play whatever you want. But if you have children, or if you are a teenager, or if you're a child watching this, respect the age rating. And for all parents out there, this is for your own good and for the good of your children. You guys agree?
Yep.
Respect
Yes.
ESRB ratings, right?
Yes.
Okay, and on that note, thank you guys so much for coming today. It's been a blast having you. Thank you for sharing all of your memorable experiences. Nart, thank you so much.
And we're going to be right back with Adam and me in Smash later on.
Stay tuned. Do please what was it? Do please subscribe and like to our channel. That's it.